Hi there. Hello. This is the introductory lecture of comic book design. My name is John Remington. I go by the writing name of John Price. I have published 2 comic books, and we're going to start off the class by reading them to show you as a student and all those involved in the classes what you're going to be capable of doing at the end of the course. So let's go forward with that. Yeah, this is my office. I'm actually sharing it. But we'll say it's a partnership with a family member. Here's the comic book we're going to be reading today. And this is a drama slash horror slash suspense story about a near future religious war. So that's why I chose the title Indignation, because it appears a lot in scripture. So this is where we begin. That's the title. That's the picture of the main character. Here's our hero. He is a Native American with magenta dyed hair. And that scar over his left eye has significance in the story. There's a reason for that. So let's go forward. Okay, we start out. It began with the terrorist attack on Vatican City. See, I actually looked up the Vatican City and did kind of a brief sketch of it. I didn't get a whole lot of details, but that is what it looks like. And those are the terrorists. Those are the culturalists, the guys in red and white. They're a group comprised of Middle Eastern manpower, Russian money, Chinese technology. And so they start by bombing the Vatican City. Their hope is to destroy the Catholic religion, and in doing so cripple America. So then the next wave of the attack is when New York was attacked by planes filled with explosives. And as you can see, the sky is full of them. There's like 25 747s, and they basically took out all the 5 boroughs of New York. Planes destroyed most of the state of New York. If you can read that. I'm working on the word bubbles. Some of them are harder to read. But that's an issue for Photoshop, which we will address later. I just downloaded the most recent copy of Photoshop from the Adobe site. I'll try to focus on that. The planes destroyed most of New York State. And then the culturalists took control of Washington. So it was a step-by-step attack. That's the inside of the White House. One of the rooms, one of the hallways, what it would look like. And those obviously are culturalists because they are in white and red. Taking some White House workers hostage there. Next we move on. After the devastation, when the world is in chaos, Some people think they have nothing to lose. So you have a guy sitting there and holding a gun and committing suicide, which is kind of rough, but it could have been a lot rougher. And others wander the lonely roads. Those were supposed to be zombies, people that just have lost their homes and have given up, and that kind of happens when the government gives up on you. But those guys in military are out there. Those are the earth spirits. They are basically the good guys. They're trying to keep the world together while terrorists are tearing it apart. So, after they attack New York, Washington, and Vatican City, that's what their motto is. Culture, soldier attacks, the world must be cleansed. They think that America is just too corrupt to survive, so they crippled it. Next, they moved on to Langley, which is a federal building. I think the CIA is there. Langley, Virginia. And Quantico. And the culturalists were attacked at Langley by somebody else, and they became mindless zombies subject to an unknown organization's control. Who was in control of the American way of life? So you can see that there's gas coming through the ventilation, and here's the culturalists lying on the ground with empty eyes. They're like mindless zombies. So the good guys go on the road to New York and while they're on the road, a disturbing report comes over, the cell phones, that they're a band of, outlaws, mercenaries. This is another religious group, a cult called the Humanists, and they're basically just rednecks with a little bit better technology. They take what they can, they party, they are completely taking advantage of the chaos. Reads, "What's that? A forest fire in Washington state is in an attack." So while they're dealing with these yahoos, there's another group that's forming that came down from Canada, which is the mentalists. And they wear these special suits that allow them to magnify their mental energy and discharge lightning bolts, so that's kind of cool. Enter the mentalist cult, and they set a fire which basically says, "We're here, and we're powerful." So, turn back to the battle on the road. The Humanists threaten the Earth Spirit soldiers on the road to New York. They pull out a triple-barreled automatic shotgun, and obviously that doesn't work out very well because the Earth Spirits, I don't know why I have them in green, because they're supposed to have earth tone colored armor, so I'll have to work on that for the cartoon. But let sleeping dogs lie. They have better things to do than play around with overgrown punks. And that's really all the Humanists are. They're just big teenagers. They love to party and drink and shoot guns and fool around. That's what they worship. They represent the entertainment industry, which is funny because that's kind of my stab at entertainment, is that it's just a bunch of teenagers. Enter the most powerful cult on the earth. On the road,